Today we have the BMW E30 in the garage. The first time I took this car out this season, it died on me. I suspect that I'm dealing with a bad crank position sensor. I did a little bit of investigation off camera and I found that it wasn't getting any spark. I have a bunch of fuel. You can smell raw fuel when you crank it a while. So speaking from experience, I'm going to go ahead and try replacing the crank position sensor. Today we're going to be using a ultra power sensor. This is like Rock Auto's cheapest brand. I thought this like 35 bucks. Now I do avoid buying ultra power parts for cooling systems, but their electronics actually aren't so bad. We'll go ahead and pull the old one out, and then we'll go ahead and install this new one, and hopefully that fixes the problem. Well, it's cranking just fine, but we're not getting any spark. Alright, so the plug for the crank position sensor actually lives underneath the diagnostic port. This guy here. I'm going to pull the air box so you can have a clear view of the sensor. So the crank sensor is going to be located right here. Just have this connector and this pops right out. It's a 3-prong connector, and you can actually do an ohms test real quick. I believe it's the last two right here. It's supposed to be right around 500 ohms. If you're not getting that kind of reading when you do an ohms test, then you know for sure the sensor is bad. My sensor is actually showing to be the correct resistance. However, that's not a sure sign that it actually still works. I'm getting about 542, 43 ohms. That's acceptable, but that doesn't mean the sensor is all that good though. Now the sensor itself is actually located on the passenger side of the engine, but it'll be right there, right at the center of the screen. So it's pretty tight in this engine bay. I'm gonna have to drain the radiator first so I can take the radiator hoses off. The thermostat housing is right above where that sensor is going to go past the timing cover, and we really need access to get there to disconnect the little shroud that holds it to the timing cover. In order to get the distributor cap off, we actually need to loosen this crossover tube. I got the bolt on this side, but there's actually one on the back side. We're going to take this crossover pipe and pull it over to this side. Now we can finally see the little plastic piece that holds or protects the crank position sensor as it goes across the timing cover. Have to be careful while we do this. This is just going to slide up and over. And then there is another one on this side here. Now we can feed this sensor out of the way.